special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It's a wonderful Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning, is Bradley Gilbert. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
From Walmart, right across the street here, right? Jogged on over here.
Yeah, jogged. Yeah.
Jogged on over here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Jumped in the sleigh.
Yeah. Hey, I love that. All right, in the hot seat this morning, we do have it's Education Wednesday. We have our own from Eastern Musketeers and eastern part of our county. We have our own Allison Hein with us. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, Becky.
It's been a second since you've been here.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got a lot of. We could actually sing this whole program.
That's
probably.
okay. You don't have
It's
to.
been a year.
I have to do that in my job anyway, so taking a break is okay.
We do like to break out in song, Brad
That's
and I
okay.
do. Okay,
Yes.
That's all right.
And
You
we
can
give
break
it-
out in song, but we don't have to sing
Absolutely.
the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, no, we just do. Everybody's
Highlights.
thankful
Just hit
we
the
don't do the
highlights.
whole.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
just parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Fox Lee Wealth Management, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, and McAllister Land Consulting.
All right, thank you to our great sponsors. And tonight, actually in sports, we do have the Pacers at Rocket, 8 p.m. tip-off, 7 p.m. pregame on Wslm. And then on Thursday, we'll have the IU game at 6:30 tip-off pregame. 5:30, West Washington Lady Senators will be playing South Central Elizabeth at 7:30 tip-off at 7 p.m. pregame. And in football, Purdue will be at Michigan State, 8 p.m. kickoff, 7 p.m. pregame. And the Salem Lady Lions will be at Eastern at 7:30, which is going to be a big game. Mm-hmm. And that'll be at 7:30 for 7 p.m. pregame for that. So exciting time for sure. All right, let's jump in and see what else we got going on. We're going to check out our day in history real quick. Today we know is the 20th. Isn't that crazy, of November?
Wow.
I know.
Who said that we could go that fast, right?
Yeah.
Not me.
So this is actually beautiful day. Love that. See
Okay.
the beautifulness and everything?
Yeah.
Right? Here we go. Allison, Future Teachers of America. How wonderful. I'm sure you're so excited because there'll be a day that, you'll be turning the reins over and saying, here, right?
Let's not talk about that day.
Okay.
That's hopefully far enough in the future.
Yes, yeah. This is also Globally Organized Hug a Runner Day. Does that mean you have
seems
to
like a
run?
lot.
I
Well,
know,
seems like
I
a
know.
lot. Seems like
I
a lot.
know,
So-
I know.
But do you do it after the run or before?
I
'Cause
don't
you can't
know.
do
I
it
would hope
during
before.
because
I
they're
was gonna
gonna
say,
they're
'cause
gonna
you're
run
knock it
over you.
down.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do it after
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Oh well, that's true.
Let's do it before.
That's true.
Allison,
Or
good
good
point,
luck.
good point, good
Yeah.
point. Name Your PC Day. All right. Okay. National Educational Support Professionals Day.
Yeah.
Love that. That's
Yep.
good.
Love
That's
them.
good. National Peanut Butter Fudge Day.
Oh, yes. Jeannie.
We need to
Hint,
celebrate.
hint.
We need to celebrate. Let's see here. World Children's Day. Isn't every day Children's Day?
Should be.
Always.
Should be. So those are some celebrations there. Get out and enjoy for sure. All right, let's jump in real quick, Brad. We had the first Black Friday shopping event, if you will. I don't know if that's what it's called. The big event, what we called the
Event
day.
number 1, what we called it.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a success!
Event number amazing. One of the largest we've had in many years.
I think
and
so.
In some ways surpassed last year's event.
Wow.
Day after Thanksgiving. Yes.
I knew it went over really good. Yeah,
and,
wonderful.
And I think the Clydesdales didn't hurt.
Oh my
but,
goodness! Let's talk about that. How big was that?
That
yeah.
was amazing. At one point, it was estimated over 450 people were waiting and wanting to see the Clydesdales. So that was amazing. So thank you to Orange County Beverage Company. But I'll tell you, it's like it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. Well, for those of us who are still young at heart, I mean, you see the Clydesdales and it just takes you back. You know,
Oh.
you just all of the commercials that you
All the
think
feels.
about and those they're so. They're huge, but they're so gentle, and they're just amazing. So, yeah.
I think
got
I
to be
fell
up
in love. I
close
just
and-
fell in love with. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
just all, and they're so awesome, and they're so well trained. This is the coolest thing. So they were there in I'm sure there maybe is a term for this. In Walmart, there's like a dip in, like right there between grocery and like your pharmacy. What
It's
is
the sign vestibule, because that's
The
where the big
outside, is
Walmart
that what it's
sign
called?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, and it recesses a little bit, so
Yes.
it's like a vestibule. So it's a
Okay.
sign vestibule.
Okay, well, I've never known that one. Okay, all
Yeah.
these years. Okay,
So
so
Walmart trivia, right?
I
Yeah, there you
know,
go.
I feel like that. So they were kind of like in that middle there. Okay, so here they are. So they decided they're going to show and they're going to move and they're going to go walk around the parking lot, which was the coolest. And what was a blessing for people that maybe were not able to get out of their vehicles.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, for those, I love that. I
Yeah.
almost cried because I was like, that is so sweet and so nice
Mhm.
that they went around the parking lot for everyone to enjoy. But okay, so here's the thing that was the coolest. Okay, this made them the coolest horses around. They went when they were going off of that
Sign vestibule.
they took to the side. They took they sidestepped.
They sidestepped, yeah.
How in the world someone trained them? Okay, I'm not trying to be rude.
That's crazy.
I've dabbled
That's
a little
crazy.
bit in horses.
Yeah.
I can't even explain the work that's been done
Yeah.
with these guys and gals, these horses, to go to the side. They sidestepped.
Like
And-
in unison too. It was just
No,
amazing.
I mean, okay,
amazing.
you talk about like the Rockettes. These guys have, the Rockets have nothing on these guys.
So-
I just wanted to know that. I noticed this.
So-
And no, I don't think anybody else, but I was like,
No,
they decide.
yeah, I ask about
they
that.
sidestep. They
I asked
sidestep.
about that, the Budweiser folks. I asked about that because I noticed that after I think you pointed it out. I think we were having that conversation. I do believe you were the one that said something
Yes,
about that.
I couldn't stop.
It was you, yeah, because I was not paying attention like that. But I asked one of the folks afterward, and I said, so give me a little information about how all of that works. And so the first part of that is how they're in the lineup. There's 8 horses, and the 2 biggest and the strongest are backed by the carriage because they pull the most weight. And then the 4 in the middle are the newer folks to the team, newer ones. And there was 2 new ones, and out of the 8, there was 2 that were relatively new, and they were the younger ones. And but the interesting thing is the 2 on the front are the quote-unquote smartest and the best leaders at steering and everything like that, knowing how to judge corners and things like that. So I think that's interesting. But
The 2 in the front.
The 2 in the
Okay.
front, they're the smartest and the best leaders. So here's the thing with that, though. The point to that was what they said is, and I didn't notice it, but when they start moving, the 2 in the front set the pace sideways, And the ones behind, they look at the horse in front of them. So they're all mimicking each other.
I saw that. I
So-
noticed it. Okay.
So the two up
Did not-
front, don't have their heads down because they're looking to where they want to guide
Yeah,
the team
yes.
to.
Yeah.
The other 6 are looking down and watching.
I noticed
Wow.
it, and I'm piggybacking on that because I did notice that because I watched that.
Yeah.
No, that was to me.
Well, you're around horses, so you understand that.
I was like,
you know
yes,
horses.
I didn't realize. I guess that
So,
makes sense having
yeah.
the two smartest,
Yeah.
but I noticed the
Yeah.
first 2 took to the side. They did
Yeah.
the sides,
Yeah.
and then everybody followed suit.
And they were looking down.
But-
Yeah. I
but-
thought that was interesting.
But as a let's go,
That's
but
crazy.
but
You can use
Allison,
that in
think about-
band and
That's
and
what I'm saying.
anything
know.
like
I was
that,
sitting here
right?
thinking, I was like, marching band students, if you're listening.
No, I mean, yeah, and I'm
but,
thinking
yeah,
for them
that's-
to have that. I mean, because they could
That's
have
so smart.
beyond. And
Like-
Allison, they could have just like, okay, when the command, let's go, they could have just gone straight.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
They took to the side so they would actually be on the actual road.
Mm-hmm.
They left the
Wow.
Sign vestibule.
They left that place and went to the side. I don't know. I did notice that, and I noticed it the first one because I'm very observant in that because that is a.
So that's how the
That
two
is- I did not know
up
the story.
front, the leaders, that's how they can
That's-
get close to stuff, and they still know how to navigate to where they don't run over stuff when they're making turns.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I think about it that I looked back at a picture that I took of them taking the corner when they first got hitched and everything and they first moved. I took a picture of them rounding the corner. The 2 in the front were looking, and the ones going around the corner, all 6 of the ones going around the corner were looking at the leaders. They were watching their feet, where
But-
they were going.
But you think about, like, not only, sorry, we got to analyze this, Allison, we're going to get to you, I promise. But you think about the trust,
Oh,
and you think about the work, and you think about how much time and effort has been, okay, we know, I mean, well, and I've seen them at Nashville. I mean, these guys and gals, these horses have made it big time. I mean, they're going to be the best of the best, and they're going to be treated, their royal treatment,
Yeah.
okay? And they're gorgeous, and they're,
just amazing,
yes.
yes.
But you think about also the trust that they have with the other horses and the bonds, to
Mm-hmm.
follow the youngsters, and also for the older ones that maybe are a little bit wiser. That's a good life
Yeah.
lesson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
And they don't have the 2 younger ones next to each other. They have them opposite
Yes.
each other. When you talk about just the 4 in the
Yeah.
center, they're opposite each other. So they've got an experienced person beside them and behind them and in front of them.
Which is also like marching band.
Just
for
a
those of
life
you who are
lesson.
Yeah,
hearing
so that's really cool. I think they're just the whole thing is just amazing, and it's just like, it's just amazing.
Well-
And real quick, the last thing with that is that I got to go down to French Lick. They're stabled down at French Lick for the holidays and some stuff. So I got to go down there and got to get my picture taken with one. But it was so funny because she's like, just put your hand up and just touch him very gently just so he knows you're there, because they still have blinders on and his handler's in front of
Yeah.
him, right? But it was so funny because she said just gently so he'll know. He leaned into my hand like, oh, and then she said, then you can start rubbing him. But he leaned in like, yeah, okay, you can pat me a little bit. And it was just amazing. But she said it was interesting. She said, watch your feet and watch his feet. Because when you're rubbing them, they pick their feet up and down. Just a little bit, not a lot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you're not careful, you can get your foot stepped on. But, I mean, he didn't come close. But it was just so cool. It's like, you know how like your dog likes to get rubbed. Like,
I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
like
yeah.
a back rub,
Yeah,
like
like
starts,
oh,
I
but
lean back.
he leaned in, it was
Might
just,
move
but he was
Sweet.
like, he didn't lean in like it was shoving against
No.
me. He just leaned into my hand
Like,
and was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, beautiful.
Talk about a
Beautiful.
love romance
Yeah.
there. My goodness.
Yeah. So, but we had a great event. We had
Yeah,
a great
beautiful,
event.
beautiful.
We've got some early stuff.
Yes, let's
next week.
Allison and I want to know what's going on. Give us
Mhm.
So we've got another event, obviously Black Friday event, but we have an online event, things coming up beginning on Monday afternoon for Walmart Plus
Okay.
folks, and
That's good.
Tuesday for everyone else on Walmart.com. So we've got a lot of things coming out that they're not even going to announce until Monday. There's going to be some surprises, and there's some stuff that they've talked about, and you can get some pre-looks at. But there's some special stuff. But right now in the stores, we've got additional TVs that were
Oh.
not advertised that are back in electronics and some other gadget stuff over in home lines that are just surprises for people to be able to, and it's what's in stock. They're not on Walmart.com. It's what's in stock in the stores, and there's certain things that came in specifically. I think there's another 7 different TVs and sizes, price points. So some really good deals on electronics and TVs, not even counting what next week's going to be. The home line gadgets and stuff, and we've got additional shipments of some of the stuff that was in last week's sale that was successful. So they held some of that back so we could continue through this week into, and of course all of our food. And one thing that we are proud about is our food is at pre-pandemic prices for the holiday top 100 items for seasonal. So that's even, we've made a commitment over the last 4 years, especially not to outpace inflation with the cost of the meal itself, but we went back to pre-pandemic things. So that's really good too.
And we thank you for
Yeah,
and we
absolutely.
are turkeys. Get your turkeys. We have got frozen turkeys. We've still got fresh turkeys. We've got turkeys on up to 25 pounds right now. So they're filling those bunkers up. So come in.
We have. We've been hitting your turkeys. Yeah.
So you probably, if you wait till Sunday or Monday, you're going to be cutting it short to get your turkey thawed out, especially the big ones. So get in, and we've got great deals on that, on those, and all the train for all the fixins, cranberry sauce, stuffing, everything down through there. Our deli, they're still taking orders for cakes, cupcakes, whatever, if you want to celebrate your holiday that way. We're still going to be doing meat and cheese trays if you have a get-together and that's what you want to do, or if you want to get one and have it ready for the day after when you have your leftovers, things like
That's a
that.
good idea.
So, and we are open till 11 p.m.
On
Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and that's going to be a hard close, so we can get folks home to be ready for Thanksgiving. Great. So they cut off online orders at 2, but the last one that you can pick up is going to be at 6, just because of
That's very fair.
all of that with getting the food.
They got to get home to their family.
And we're closed for Thanksgiving, so our associates can enjoy their families. Third shift won't come in Wednesday night. They will come in at midnight on Thanksgiving night, Friday morning at 12 a.m., but their primary job is everything's going to be staged. So it's like Santa's elves, and Becky, you've seen the backstage part of this.
Yeah.
So everything will be
magical.
staged before we close Wednesday night for the holiday, and then when third shift comes in, they stage the store, get all of everything cleared out and everything set up for the sale. We have a hard opening at 6 a.m. Everything will be set 6 a.m. Black Friday, and there's going to be some, and Mike does this a lot. There's going to be items that are manager specials for part of Black Friday, and we don't know what that is. He's got his list of 4 things, and so we don't know until that day, which is really cool. So, there's, I think Dylan and Gene know, and Mike, but because they're the ones that have staged everything. So we're going to have that stuff too. So
Love that. Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's very exciting, and I love every bit of that. And on the TVs, going back to that, that's crazy how inexpensive TVs. That's,
I know.
You go back years ago, you would have never. I mean, it's unreal how much TVs.
Yeah, and the wall mounts that are normally like $50 to mount your TV, any size TV, they're $20.
Ooh.
They're really and that I don't know.
This
I don't
is
know.
It makes you want to get a new TV.
One thing that you do need is the leg lamp from Christmas Story. We have those.
Everybody needs one.
So, but also something big this year are the lava lamp things that have like the jellyfish and the volcano one.
Yeah.
The jellyfish one is sold out, but it was sold out, but it's back last night. So beginning today, it will be back. It's on in-cap and electronics. Those things are so cool. Make a great Christmas gift. $20. So.
I love the
And toys.
I haven't. I mean, I know what a lava lamp is, but I haven't seen this jellyfish.
Yeah,
Oh, the jellyfish are so. It's so like.
It's really cool.
I mean, it's almost like it would lower your blood pressure. You know how they always say fish tanks lower your blood pressure? But just watching it is just, jellyfish,
That's cool.
And then, of course, toys.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I appreciate the the actual lowdown on that, because everybody's been wanting to know, you know what I mean? And so, and I think that for anybody that was a little bit, you know, they like that thrill of the actual Black Friday shopping, there's still going to be that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was talking to a group the other day because they were like, it's just not going to be fun. Oh, no, it'll be fun.
Because there's a...
Because you brought that back.
We've brought it back to where there's a lot of things in store that day that's not available online. So you got to come to the store to check that stuff out. Also, one last thing I do want to mention is on Black Friday, that's when we have our trim and tree things, our ornaments and trees and lights and outdoor lights, all that kind of stuff. We have special prices for that, so it's a good time to, if you haven't got all your stuff, or if you want to get something at a good price, choose next year if you've already got your stuff up. So come check that out. But come into the store on Friday mornings, beginning at 6 a.m. There's going to be some stuff there that you won't see online.
Yay! Cool. All right, wonderful. Love that. All right, great. Well, I appreciate the lowdown, and I know we all are, Allison and I are like, yes, to find out all of that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Allison, let's jump in and let's find out a little about yourself, and how long have you been with Eastern?
This is my 4th year at East Washington Elementary. I've been their music teacher since 2021, and I also do work with the band as their woodwind tech, and do just odd jobs here and there whenever they're needed. So I enjoy doing that as well, and yeah, that's what I've been doing at Eastern.
Exciting. So did you teach before?
Yes, this is actually my 12th year teaching overall.
Awesome.
I was in Indianapolis first, then Seymour, then Columbus, and then I made my way down here.
So you were like, this is where you're supposed to be.
Yes. We love it. And I'm originally from Columbus, so Columbus is my hometown.
Okay, all right.
But I love it here.
Now, is it a little bit different, I guess, vibe?
Oh, yeah. Very much so. There are, of course, things that are the same, because kids are kids.
Right,
you know, but yeah, the demographic is definitely different. But, yeah.
Well, that's...
but I do love it here.
Well,
there are some things I miss about other schools, because every school's different.
Sure.
But I do love it here.
Yeah. Well, this is your home, and this is, yes, we're so blessed to have you, for sure. And Eastern is too, I know that. So let's talk about when you are starting, how early do you start? Do you do band too, or musical instruments, or just
at elementary school, I only do voices, but we also do, we play instruments as well, but not like band instruments. So
what about the recorders? Do you send those home?
Yes,
what are parents' response on that?
At the beginning, I have gotten notes from parents saying, like, how dare you? Yeah. Like, you are not my favorite person. Usually in jest, but...
Mr. Broken Wings on the recorder, you cannot beat it. Telling you. Sorry.
You're fine. And I get it. I always tell people, I am the bane of every parent's existence.
Yeah.
In September, when your child enters 4th grade. Like, I know. And I always say, give it a month after they learn not to blow as hard as they possibly can.
Right.
And once they learn to cover the holes, because really... it helps you a lot in a way that, like, when you sing, you have to learn breath control and tone and all of that too. But the recorder allows you to do that in kind of a different way and apply it in a different way. And a lot of the fingerings are similar. So if you want, like, to a clarinet or a saxophone, so if you do want to go to band or enter band, then you kind of have that background already. Because I've had kids that go, oh, the saxophone fingerings are the same as recorder, and I'm like, I know. Crazy. It's like I'm trying to set you up for success or something. Like, crazy.
Yeah. So I think the thing about that is, well, I love that though. I know we've all, I've had 6 daughters, and I know I can remember.
Which I did not know until this morning. I knew you had daughters, but I did not know whether there were 6.
Yeah, it takes 2 hands.
So yeah, that's okay. We just had number 6 enter our family on. I had my 6th niece. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
what a blessing. Yeah.
1 for us, 6 for them. But
there we go.
Yeah, we love it. Anyway.
She's got her own basketball team with the
They do. They do their own basketball team,
Starting
their own
5 with
band,
the
their own.
Right.
Yes, and her name is Maggie, and she's very sweet. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, I think, but going back, I love the introduction, because that might be something. It's almost like it's nice that it's mandatory, because therefore they're trying it. And, and it's just for a little bit of a season.
Right. And if you don't want to end up going into band, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, my wish is that everybody would. But, that's not realistic.
Right.
So,
Well, that's cool. So going back, let's go back. So when we start with the songs and singing, is it hard sometimes to talk about like maybe getting some of the younger ones at first to sing and getting them to be
Usually
involved?
with kindergartners, that's just like part of their soul. They really just love to sing for the most part. Every once in a while I'll get a kid that's really just not, it's really not even just singing, they're just shy, period. But for the most part, getting the little ones to sing is no problem.
And they do it with joy.
Yes, they do. And they don't care what they sound like.
I love
Like,
that.
and usually they sound
Yeah.
pretty good, because sometimes they'll go, I don't know how to sing, and I'm like, it's just, you just know. And yes, it takes some training to get yourself in tune as you get older, but there's nothing like hearing kindergartners really sing together for the first time. It's unreal. That's one of my favorite parts of my job.
If you can't be happy around a bunch of kindergartners singing, then
now
you
afterwards when they go back to class,
may need to figure something
that's
out.
another thing. But
Check yourself. So when do you do traditional songs, or are you? Okay.
I try to do a lot of different things. So we do traditional songs, we do folk songs. I try to do songs from different cultures. We do.
Well, I love that. I love introducing them to music maybe that they are not familiar with. Too. I love that they're learning different kinds of music.
I think we need to know about the world around us.
Absolutely.
And for some kids, they won't ever get that opportunity otherwise.
Right. Sure.
So,
well, especially if their parents maybe listen to country music or something, and or
and we try to do everything. I mean, we've done country songs, we've done rock songs. Try to do it all.
And you think about it, music, even just in our country, in our culture, it spans across that, but music has a way of connecting the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is, you said they may not get exposed to some of that, but they have a little bit from that, and it's like you see it if you've been anywhere, you see people and they're listening to their music, and people around them often are just like, they may not be part of it, but they're just like, oh, they're listening to, and people, you have a connection, and I think music is something that brings people together.
Well, and to me, that's the point of music, is music connects people. And we kind of had this conversation with our fourth graders when we were practicing for Veterans Day. So we do a district-wide Veterans Day celebration, and the song that they sang was called American Tears, which was, shocker, it was a big tearjerker. But we sang it in practice, and after we got done, nobody spoke. And I looked behind me, and do you know who Debbie Mishler is?
Yeah.
Yes. I looked behind me because she was in there with us while we were practicing, and she just was crying. And I was like, oh my goodness. I said, guys, you made Mrs. Mishler cry. And all of them went, I got chills. And I said, I know. I said, guys, this is what music does. You're connecting with an audience, with an experience that other things don't really do. You can't, yes, math and science, of course, are important, but having that shared experience with music and how you're connecting with your audience, you can't replicate that. And it was really cool to talk to them about that and how they could really see that happening for themselves, and it was really awesome.
So let's talk, because it's just not that long ago you had the big Veterans Day program.
It was wonderful. So all of our elementary students sing. They don't sing all the same songs, but so first and kindergarten sing, and then second and third sing, and then fourth grade gets their own song. The band also performs, and the choir sings with the band. And then we also have the student council does a lot of the planning, and they do a lot of the speaking, and the student council actually came up with a plan to make this like giant flag out of handprints that was like our entire school, and we presented that to the veterans. And it was really neat that a lot of the high school student council members came up with the ideas for our celebration. The elementary students had a part in it too, but I know a lot of the high school students did that, and I think it's really cool to see that their leadership came out in a way that like the public could see, and that the veterans got to partake in that too.
Well, I love them planning an event. If you've never planned an event,
it's hard.
It is. There's a lot. When you go, when I go to an event, I always I have to give huge appreciation to, because somebody has done a lot of work to plan an event.
Yes.
You know, and it's
Yes.
not easy.
And shout out to Jennifer Gibson, who's one of our new third grade teachers. She just had a baby in July, came back from maternity leave, and was the head of our student council, and had to do this.
I love that.
Yeah, she did great. She knocked it out of the park.
She's had her batteries recharged, and
Yes.
she's ready to go.
Yeah.
and I'm sure her new baby's giving her.
Oh, he's
inspiring.
He's precious.
I bet.
Yeah.
So a successful Veterans Day program, and you got everybody involved. I love that.
Yes, and we had over 50 veterans there,
Oh.
which was I think. Don't quote me on this, but I think that's the most we've had, and this is the third year we've done it.
I love that.
So.
And I love that, and I love honoring our veterans. I
Yes.
love that so much. And I actually think it's so important. You know, Brad and I, we would have had years ago. Our music teacher Sarah Miner,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just like unreal the way she would turn you on to the United States. You couldn't help but love our United States of America going through.
That's great.
Growing up. And I think that learning all of those songs, and those are songs that forever are in your heart, in your mind, and they mean so much to us.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear, like in public, like the national anthem, I still, you know.
When I see those veterans stand up and take their hats off,
Oh.
we say, I can't even talk about it. It just,
No.
it really gets to me.
Right, and you can't help it, and you know what they've been through, and you hear their stories, you know, and everyone's got such a unique story, and so I love the tradition, and I think our county does a fantastic job, and I think we need.
I know we're not the only ones. I know Brady Shrum.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of their music teacher over there, but I know
Andrea Gorman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know she does a great job putting together a great program over there.
Yeah.
I don't know what West Washington does, but I assume they do.
They had a
something.
Veterans Day program that was
I know
like
most
all
schools do.
ages, all three, elementary, junior high, and high school. They did something, and they, in conjunction with that, they fed veterans meals that came to that too.
Oh,
Fed
that's
them lunch,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is that we do have we have cards that the kids make, and we have a special pin that they get when they come, and the students have to escort the veterans down, and I think that's really cool. It's really cool to see a little tiny third grader escorting a veteran and their family to their seats. That's just there's something special about that.
And I think it was at Salem they did the branches, you know, the different branches. And my dad was a Marine. I told this earlier, but you know, when you hear that song and he would sing that song, you know what I mean, from the halls of, well, you know, I could still hear that ringing, you know. And when I heard that, that was just like just sent chills.
Yes.
So
I say my papa was a Navy veteran.
See?
So Anchors Away.
Well, that one got stuck in my head too. Some of these songs just get stuck in your
They
head,
do.
and you just, you know, those are awesome. Well, I think the Veterans Day program and at the younger kindergarten starting off and going on further, it just keeps building and learning this, and this is our next generations that we're that we're planting seeds.
And it's important for them to see what these people have done for them.
Yeah.
And I really think, especially in the election cycle we just went through, you know, we just got done with that, and then we had our Veterans Day program, and it was really nice to just see everybody just come together, you know, and honor those people and not worry about, I guess, everything that just happened in our country, and you know.
Well, we get to have those disagreements. We get to have free elections because of those who have sacrificed and defended our country, and let us lay down our head at night.
Yeah,
yes.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
Amen.
Well, Allison, so let's say, okay, so we got our Veterans Day program on. So there's some big things coming up. What are you working on? Do you have any, you know, we were talking, there's not a whole lot of Thanksgiving songs.
You know what? I have kids that have complained to me this week. I've told them, I said, guys, we have to start on Christmas this week because I only see them once a week.
Yeah.
So I say, I'm going to see you 5 times from now until our Christmas
wow.
program. Yeah. Like,
No
so I'm like,
stress
we
there.
have to start today. And then they go, well, what about Thanksgiving songs? I go, you know, I'm sorry.
Like, Over the River and Through the Woods, that is a Thanksgiving song. That was written for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So Over the River and Through, so that's
Is that why it was used in Charlie Brown Thanksgiving?
Probably.
And I'm not being...
probably, but that song was actually...
Yeah. So I did do a little bitty Thanksgiving song at the beginning of, like, my kindergarten and first grade classes this week because they feel like it's left out. And I'm like, you're right.
There is a song,
understand.
Allison, that goes turkey dinner,
Uh-huh,
pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't
what,
sing that
then it
song,
goes
but yes.
something what is it?
Yes.
Is it yummy yummy drumstick, yummy yummy drumstick, me oh my,
Me oh my, Becky, I have not
Brad,
heard
that's
that song in a long time.
Just sharing.
Sharing is caring.
Like
So
for Brad, I know Brad wanted me
I can
to.
honestly say I've never heard that Thanksgiving song, which is okay. That's
You mean
okay.
I've never
you
let that one
expanded
out
my
of the vault
horizon.
to you?
No,
Oh
I mean,
my
it's just-
goodness.
no.
Every
I mean,
year from now
that's
on,
what's
Brad,
more,
I'm going to
that's
start
why I
calling.
got more quiet, because I'm like, she has never let that out of the vault.
I
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like now I'm going to have to put it on your answer
It's
machine.
been around.
Yeah.
It's
It needs to be on your answer machine.
I think I miss a lot of, have missed historically in the last 18 years, especially because with Walmart, that we focus so much on Thanksgiving. You know, we were open, and now that we're not open, which is great, but we think of, because our event is for Christmas items and stuff like that. So I think sometimes I'm already, as soon as Halloween hits, I'm in Christmas mode.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
think but also, but I think you can be both. I think you can share. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's excited about Thanksgiving, and we love Thanksgiving and everything about it. But then you also, I think too, with a lot going on this year, like the election, and just there's been a lot going on, and our country's been going through a lot, and I think that, and maybe just people in general, with things. So I think that we've looked for that joy in Christmas.
Mhm.
And I think we have started.
We need it.
Yeah, I think, and that's okay. If you
Yeah.
want to put your tree up or keep it up,
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Is
that I'm not personally a tree on November 1st kind of person, but if you are, you do you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
You know.
I agree with that. I think it just is symbolic of how people tend to act a little nicer around Christmas time, just in general. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's great.
We'll take
And
it.
there's nothing wrong with doing that year round. And I will have to tell you, there is no, I mean, I know we talked about Christmas in July stuff or whatever, but there's times I've been laying by the pool and I'm humming Jingle Bells. Not that I'm ready for the pool to be closed, but you just kind of when you're just like, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Well,
And so, again, that's how music helps you lift you up, your spirits a little bit, but especially like Christmas music, and then when you think about patriotic music, all that stuff.
I guess with the concession of 4th of July, but I mean, Christmas is the only holiday that has its own genre of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No?
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
So what are
For the most
fourth
part.
graders? What's fourth graders' favorite Christmas song to do, or songs if they got to choose the Christmas program themselves?
Oh boy. Probably something by Taylor Swift or Morgan Wallen.
I did not see that one coming.
I didn't either.
yeah.
I didn't either.
Oh yeah.
So during Christmas, will we be hearing "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together"?
If they could write it a Christmas version, I'm sure they would, because that's all.
gosh.
Are we going to sing
Christmas
something by Morgan Wallen? I'm like,
hey,
oh.
hey, I'm like, I've been watching these Hallmark movies, so you know what I mean. No, the Christmas
Yeah.
breakup. We are never ever getting back together.
Until New Year's.
Oh, yeah. Until New Year's and everything's back together. Well, this year,
I
fourth grade
stay
is
up too
singing a
late,
song.
got nothing in my brain.
No.
That's what people say.
No,
Brad.
no, that's not Christmas music. I don't care
I
how
mean,
many times she
I
breaks
stay-
up and they
hang
get
on,
back together.
hang on,
or
I
they-
stay up wrapping too many gifts. I
Yeah.
got no money in my bank account.
But right now, like fourth grade is singing, and they love it so far. They're singing a 2-part song called "A Perfect Winter Day." So part one is they love winter, but the part 2 people, they hate winter,
Oh.
and they sing together, and it's like a counterpoint
cool.
type of thing, but they love it because the kids who love winter have to really act it up and say, I love the snow and I love all this, and then the other kids are like, I have a cold, my eyes itch and my nose is clogged and I hate it. And
That's
love
us.
It. They love
No.
it. It's great.
You're number one. And I'm,
That is totally. I am that number one. I love. I fall in love
and
with
I'm
everything.
like,
I'm
man,
like,
I need some cough drops. My eyes are
I'm
killing
number
me.
one
I can't.
until December 26th. Then I'm number 2.
I'm number one all the way. So how does it go? Sing just a little bit of it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's get this stuck in
So
our head.
part 1 goes, the wind was blowing, the snow was falling, the snow was falling all around me. I was a-sliding, my feet were gliding. It was a perfect winter day. So that's just part of part one, and then part two goes, I don't particularly like the winter. I always get a head cold. I think it's cold and wet, and then they keep going. But then at the end, both parts come together, and they have
I love
it's
this
really cool.
so much.
But they both say
I've
it's
never
a
heard
perfect winter day, but part two says it like with quotes, like it's perfect, and it's great.
That is, you
wonderful.
just described
cool.
Brad and I.
Yeah, you did.
No,
That's-
really.
it's my
And we
husband.
come together on a midday. It's
I
fine.
know.
It's
Here we
fine.
are. It's winter, and what are we
Here
gonna
we
do about
are.
it?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's great. It's great.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard this song, but I'm like loving this song.
There's
That could be
a
a
lady.
Christmas duet for us.
I love that.
A lady and
Baby,
her
it's cold
husband.
outside. Move over.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And actually, I've used that song a couple of times in like some of my other schools. But the lady who writes a lot of the songs I use, her name's Teresa Jennings, and her husband Paul Jennings. They have a company called Music K8, and they put out songs like it's nobody like. I was gonna say they put out songs like it's their job. It is their job. They write these awesome songs, and I think every song I'm using for our program this year, except for one, is written by them. So.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask you, do you do like the traditional, maybe like Jolly Old Saint Nicholas? Do you?
I
do
try.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
I
Rudolph?
try to do songs that the kids don't know,
Okay.
so they're actually learning something new.
Okay.
Because I like to, instead of just saying, all right, we're going to do this song and we're going to perform it, I want them to learn something. Not that you can't learn something with Jingle Bells, but, we look at the music. They've never seen it before. We try to read the rhythms first. Then we read the pitches, and then we put it together. So that way it's
So do
newer
you
for
throw
everyone.
in one traditional that?
At the end, we usually try to sing either Santa Claus is coming to town or We Wish You a Merry Christmas or both.
Oh, that's cute.
So yes, we do try to do that too, but I like to do things that people haven't heard.
I was gonna
that's
kick
good.
it up a
That's
notch.
great.
No, I
yeah,
love- no,
And then the
absolutely.
kids are like, we don't know
No.
this song. This is cool.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
it
you can
is.
teach your
I
parents
love
or your
that.
grown-ups
No,
or
I love
whoever.
that too. Yeah. No,
I
I
try
love
to do that,
Yeah.
but I have had kids go, well, I want to sing Jingle Bells. I'm like, well, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
You can do that in the cafeteria at lunch.
Yeah.
Jingle
Yeah,
bells,
that's
Batman
right.
smells,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm going to
Yes.
put you guys on the spot. I'm sorry, I didn't know that I was going to do this. Well, maybe I thought about it early on. So,
Premeditated.
what's your favorite Christmas song to sing?
to
To
sing,
sing.
I have
Yes.
always been a fan of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen because I like that it's in a minor key.
That's difficult.
I love minor key songs.
music
So,
teacher. Music
yeah.
teacher, right?
I
there.
like because it's not. It sounds more. Sad is not the right word, but it's just it's not in like a happy key. It's in a kind of more dark key, and I like that. Don't judge me.
No, I think that's awesome.
No,
I think
no,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I've always
yeah.
liked the way that sounds.
What about you, Becky?
I would say my favorite of all times is Oh Holy Night.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I love Oh Holy Night. And then second, like, so that would be my more like the serious, Jolly Old Saint Nicholas would be my fun one. I love that. Lean your ear this way, don't you tell a single soul. I like little secrets like that.
Yeah.
And I do like Here Comes Santa Claus because my mama always used to sing that. to
See,
me
that
when I
was because my mom would always sing the other one. Yeah.
I like that because my grandparents love that, but the Gene Autry version, I love that because he says Santa Claus, and there's just something like, here comes Santa Claus, and that is like kind of what you think about a kid would say.
Absolutely.
You know, are we gonna see Santa Claus?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it's
Brad,
just so.
what's your favorite?
My favorite to sing is I love It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
Oh,
I don't usually think about that one. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love
That's a
that
good
one.
one. That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That is so good.
That is a
We
good
just
one.
need to do a little concert, all three of us right here. Let's just do
Yeah.
Maybe not at 8 a.m. in the
Yeah,
morning or 8:30,
right.
but
I have
maybe.
to sing at 8 a.m. in the morning usually anyway.
Well,
So,
That is a good
my
one.
favorite fun one though is Frosty the Snowman.
oh,
just
thumpity,
because,
thump,
yeah,
thump,
just
thumpity.
because.
Yeah, you
That's
can't.
my daughter's favorite.
Yeah,
She
you
asks
can't.
all year when Frosty's going to come back.
You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it is fun because you kind of have that traditional that it just warms your soul, and then you have that funner one maybe that brings somewhere like probably with Frosty, someone as a child has entered or somewhere, Brad, that you picked up on that. I mean that's been something in your childhood.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back to that, those thoughts.
Yeah.
Just what they
Absolutely.
mean to us. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can always hear my mama singing "Here Comes Santa Claus," and they my grandparents' anniversary was Christmas Eve. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, and they had a double wedding with my my great aunt and my great uncle on
cool.
Christmas Eve in 1946.
Well, that's the story, isn't
Yes,
it?
and so they always loved to get to. Of course, we always got together on Christmas anyway, but then we always celebrated their anniversary the night before, and so Christmas was always kind of like. I mean, I know it's special to everyone, but it was like really, really special to them too.
Well, I
and
can see that.
the
Yeah.
four
That's
of
awesome.
them were
Yeah.
inseparable. They were.
That's
they were
pretty
wonderful.
cool to pull off a double wedding on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I mean, they just got married at the courthouse, but
That's
Oh, but
still.
that's still no. It's an event. Did we not just talk
Yes.
about putting
Yes.
together?
Yes.
Because this day and age, you have a hard time. It's like, it's Christmas Eve. We're not. We
Yeah.
stopped the marrying.
Yeah. Ain't nobody getting married
Ain't
tonight.
nobody getting married
Ain't
today.
nobody
No.
getting married tonight. We're at home.
yep, at the courthouse.
We got
in
turkey and ham.
Stanford, Kentucky, I think is where they were married. And if my parents are listening, you can correct me on that later.
Well, and well, that's pretty cool though. That's neat. Well, I think bringing this to children and bringing this to so will you be having sorry, I'm gonna might need to change my batteries over here.
It's fine.
Will you have a program then, and when is that?
So I have two programs.
Okay.
So our school-wide program is the day before winter break. So a month from today. I can't believe it. So
only 5 times.
less than that now.
4 times.
I mean, yeah, because then we have Thanksgiving break, which means those 3 days I don't see those kids. And anyway, so on that day, every grade performs their own song, and then usually the teachers do something fun for the kids after that. And like last year, we had Mystery Reader. So 7 of us dressed up like the Masked Singer, except we read instead of sang.
Love this.
And I dressed up like a sloth. And
Oh, cute.
I almost passed out because I had just danced with 5 classes, and then I put on the sloth outfit, and I was so sweaty and hot, and it was awful. But so we all read. What did we read? It's a famous Christmas poem. It was the night before Christmas. Thank you.
I
was
thought
like,
maybe
where is
that
it?
was what you.
So we all read different parts of it, and then the kids had to guess who we were. So we usually do something fun like that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
was
it
cool.
I
was
like
fun.
that.
It
Did you
was fun.
disguise your
But
voice?
I tried to, but they all knew it was me because I was the shortest one.
Oh.
And they all know Mrs. Hein is really short. So I tried, but they were all like, we knew it was you.
Now this year you need stills.
I know. I said, if I'm going to do it again,
Yeah,
I have to
you
like,
could walk
I have to
that.
do
You could
something.
walk in
But
that,
yeah, they're
yeah.
all like, we knew it was you.
Yeah.
Um,
Some heels I'm not wearing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Gilbert.
Me.
I know.
There's a lot to choose. Nothing wrong with that, though.
No.
And then my second program is my after-school choir called Rhythm and Rhyme, which is that name for that choir has been around since way before me. But we do our Christmas program on December 10th, and we're presenting a play called The Greatest Snowman. Not The Greatest Showman, The Greatest Snowman.
Get that.
And it kind of has some puns off of that, and we've been practicing that for a couple months, and they're doing a really good job. So.
And what grades do you have involved in that?
Only 4th.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, there's 28 of us. 28 of them.
But that's starting early for like a play. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and they're
to learn
doing
lines,
great.
to learn their lines,
Yeah.
and
It's only like a 30-minute play.
No, but
but
still,
5 songs. There's intense dance. There's costume changes, things like that. And they're doing a great job.
that's
So.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's like getting dipping their toes. You know what I mean, right? Getting them ready.
And the music teacher that was there before me, Tammy Clemens, who was an absolute legend. She did things like that with them too. So, and I'm not really used to doing plays as much. That's not really in my wheelhouse as much as it is like Veronica Lindley, who does an amazing job with their productions. So I learn a lot of things from her and some other people that have come before me. But
You guys all complement each other so well.
we try.
Don't you feel? I mean, and everybody has
different
you guys are really
stages.
powerhouses,
Yeah.
there, and do a great job.
And she just got done with, Matt, of course, helped her too. SpongeBob, the musical, which was fabulous. They did wonderful.
It's good. It's always good to have peers that are also like trailblazers at the same time and have so much experience, and they're willing to share it and to share their gifts and what they can do with folks. I think that's one of the things that makes the Lindley special in the ways they
absolutely.
do is
Yeah.
they want, even if like in doing that for younger grade, wants you to succeed, wants the kids to to have that chance to do great things. So that's amazing. That's where it, you think about it and it's kind of cliche sometimes, but if you just think about just the school system, it takes a village and it takes everybody contributing, but those ones that are willing to bring the ones up that don't have the experience, and I think that's great when you have that.
Without me, but without an elementary music program, you don't have a high school music program.
You got to have. We talk about it
you don't
for
have
whatever,
symphony orchestras,
for music, sports, whatever. You got to have a feeder program. You got to start developing that bench strength early on, and so that's important. Yeah, because a lot of times that we don't think about is, and you don't think maybe that you can teach elementary kids stuff, but you're teaching basics. You're teaching basics that they have to build on. You can't win the championship without having learned the basics, and that's the time to do that. So that's where your contributions are. You got to you do that, and so it just all of it's woven together.
Right. Well, I think that 100% what Brad just what Brad said right there. Yes, 100%. Well, in basketball they have to learn to dribble. I mean, you have to learn the basics. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's go back. Okay, so we are excited about so we have 2 programs for Christmas. And the other one is open to the public. Is that right?
They can sure. So like our school-wide one is just us. We do live stream it on Facebook if you want to watch it. It's cute. But then our rhythm and rhyme program is at the high school Performing Arts Center, December 10th, 6 p.m. If you want to come support us.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful center too.
We're really excited. And special thanks to Anna Marie Andrus. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do.
Yes, who she did my sets last year. And they were beautiful. Oh my goodness! And she's doing them again this year. So
that's a lot.
It is a lot. She does that out of the goodness of her heart. I told her this year that she did not have to do that. I knew it was a lot of time. And she goes, no. Please let me do it. Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I have no experience with this. Like, I feel like I am not helpful to her at all. I try to give her ideas, but she doesn't even need them. Like, she's so creative. She does a great job.
To be around people.
Yes.
Let the creative geniuses just work their magic.
Do it.
My girl, you do, because then I don't have to worry about it, and all I have to do is worry about their singing.
There you go. That's right.
I have to worry about sets because that is not in my wheelhouse.
What do you do after Christmas? So we got Christmas, and which I don't know if we'll see you before or afterwards. But so where do you go? Because we talk about between the end of December and till maybe February. I mean, there might be love songs. You know what I mean? That you're going to be hitting in Valentine's Day. I mean,
after that, I mean, I do a few holiday relevant songs, but for the most part, I mean, we're back to. I kind of say it's like back to normal almost, because we're we just keep going on in my music curriculum, learning concepts, back
to basics.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, do you still do some songs though? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, every day we do a warm-up song, we do pitch recognition, we do rhythm recognition. Sometimes we'll play instruments, sometimes we don't, sometimes we just sing. In 40 minutes we try to squeeze all that in.
I know. Yeah.
Actually, I had a class the other day that I know, shocker, sometimes the kids don't listen. Just crazy. I know. But they were just, I don't know, they were just off that day. And I said, guys, I see you 40 minutes a week. Mm-hmm. So when we get off track, guys, that's important time. And they were like, yeah, but we see you every week. And I said, no, let's do some math. And they were like, okay. And I said, you see your normal teacher, let's say taking out recess and lunch and specials 4 hours a day. So we added up the minutes and all of that. And I said, you see your teacher like 1,200 minutes a week. You see me 40. And they were like, oh. I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So don't waste my time. And they were like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but that was like,
I feel like she approaches everything and you get your little wand out and it's like Sister Act. Make them sing.
There you go, yeah.
So there's a voice in your head. Make them sing. And I mean that good because I love that. It's just like, yeah.
But I'm just like, listen, and I love my time with you all, but it's just like, if you get us off track, and sometimes I get them off track too, if they talk about certain things, Mrs. Hein will go off on a tangent. But,
Well,
you know.
yeah.
But, and I do also have to, I try to have time where we call it open share. So I'm like, at the beginning I go, okay, is there anything somebody wants to tell us for the good of the order? You got a new dog. You found a new song you like this week. You know, and sometimes it ends up my goldfish died or whatever, you know. But it's just like, okay, open share time. Great, awesome, let's move on.
Right. Well, that's nice.
Especially
but
with
at that
kindergartners,
age-
you have to do that.
Oh.
Because if you don't,
Well, they will open share.
they'll open share
Regardless.
no matter what. Yeah.
There's going to be open sharing. Yeah,
Their
for sure.
goldfish
That's-
Mommy
died.
said
They're-
Daddy is getting on
Oh,
my nerves
yes.
last night,
Uh-huh.
and so he had to eat in the garage.
Yeah.
And we get stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
So going back though with the students,
Mhm.
is there like sometimes like let's start with kindergarten and maybe it's like second grade or third grade or whatever. Do you get really excited when you see them getting it?
Oh yeah, we call it. Well, I know other teachers do too. The light bulb moment. It's just like, oh, I get it. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know. Actually, I had a student who just started at our school this year, and he's in 4th grade. And we actually start recorders in 3rd grade, and so then we use them, you know, periodically through 3rd and 4th grade. And when he got here, most of my students have already been playing for a year, and he had never played. So he came in and I said, have you ever touched a recorder? Do you know what one is? And he was like, I've never used one. And I said, that's okay. You know, like, we will review before we kind of jump in again. And I could just tell he was really disheartened. He was really discouraged. And he was like, I'm never going to get this. And I said, listen, you take it as you can. If you feel like you can jump in with us, then do. If you feel like you can only get 2 notes here and miss the next 3, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and finally a couple weeks later, he said he'd taken it home and he looked up songs on YouTube. Because, surprise, you can get recorder songs on YouTube.
Yeah.
And with the exact same curriculum that we use, is called Recorder Karate. And he came in and he goes, I finally, like, I got it. I'm up with you guys now. And I was like,
That's awesome.
man, that's great. I said, look at you. I said, you didn't really have to do that, honestly. I said, you could have just kept trucking along. And I said, and I know you would have gotten it, but you took your own initiative to say, I'm going to get to where they are.
And that's life
That's
lessons.
right.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
you know, that
Yeah.
that is.
Well, he's not going to settle. He's going to be
So-
a CEO somewhere.
Yeah,
isn't he?
Yeah.
Somewhere. And
Look out.
I
He's
was
going to
like,
have a lot
I'm
of
so
those
proud of
aha
you.
light bulb moments.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think so.
Right, but I was like, look at you being an independent learner.
Yeah.
That's great.
That
Yeah.
is.
As
Yeah.
a teacher, I would think that's just like, that's just like,
Yeah.
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 Very
And
exciting.
I don't know if he told anybody else, but I really wanted to go, y'all, look at this kid.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
up where you all are, and he had like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you guys had a year.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So, we're getting close to the time. Time goes by so
Are we?
fast.
Oh my goodness.
But Allison, is there
Wow.
anything else we didn't get covered? Let's see here. We've got the Christmas programs, and then we have a spring program too. Or?
I do have a spring rhythm and rhyme program.
Okay.
Usually I don't do a play for that. I just do, it's just like a choir concert. And I usually do a theme every year. So like last year what did we do? We did songs from Broadway.
Oh, I love that.
So that's what our spring program was last year. This year I'm thinking about doing something a little different. I do want to do a choir concert, but there's also in Indianapolis every year in May there's something called a folk dance festival. And so schools from all over Indiana come and they learn these folk songs for like 5 months, and they go and perform the folk songs together. I mean, you know, tens of dozens of schools.
I think I've seen this before.
It's
This is-
amazing,
yeah.
and I would love to take part in that. So I'm thinking that's kind of like a little side thing that we might do. But
Cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'd
That'd
be
be
awesome.
awesome. With
and
the
so
fourth
and
graders.
every
Awesome.
year it's like I think we do. I think it's 8 different dances every year. I think something like that. But
Ryan and I
I'll have
used
look
to
at
do
it again,
those.
but-
Remember?
Yeah. You square dance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The maypole dance.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Maypole
That's the one.
dance.
I mean, we
You
were
got a duck. You got to go.
we
Bob
ran
and
that. We ran that. We had that. We actually we did. So people don't realize this, but Becky and I were really talented.
This is so stories.
We were.
There's nobody here to back it up. So
Oh,
that's it.
man.
That's it. You go.
But
That's
actually,
right.
the maypole
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah.
I mean,
we-
you only wrapped
we-
me up twice.
That's right.
That's only, so that was a win.
We rocked that.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
But those
But
are fun.
on things
It's
like
great.
that, though, I will have to say that we took that stuff serious.
We did.
Uh-uh.
Our teacher
Yeah.
was, very similar like what you are. That was very, she wanted excellence, but she also did it in a way that we wanted to do it. You know what I mean? You have to
Right.
have that.
Yeah.
Where you have that nice balance where you're definitely enforcing what you want, but also you're wanting. But then we, the students, wanted to do that,
Right.
and we
Right.
wanted to do a good job.
Sure.
Except for when we got eye contact and started laughing, then then that's a hope.
You kids.
Well, it's taken me a while to grow up on that.
It's okay. Hey, we have to have times where
That
we laugh,
happened
or else we
a
can't
couple
move
weeks
forward.
ago. No.
It's true.
I didn't
I'm
say
still
it.
working
It
on.
happens
I'm a
all the
work in
time.
progress.
But I will have to say that we talked about that, but you're giving kids life lessons and giving them memories of things that, there will be some random time in the future that one of those kids will say, do you remember at the Veterans Day program when we made, for that we made the teacher cry, things like that. And so those are just memories and just things that are priceless. You can't, that's just stuff that students carry with them.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well,
Teacher, we
Allison
try.
Hein, you are fantastic, and I'm a huge fan,
Thank you
and
for
I know Brad and I
thinking
both are, and we want you to keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Eastern School Corporation, it's a beautiful corporation. You got a lot of great rock stars. You do a lot of great things over there. So
I love the staff I work with. They're
I
great.
know you do, and it shows. Everybody, you guys are
Great
like,
folks.
you
And we
complement each other.
we actually have a lot of new staff this year. Sorry, I know we're going to overtime,
No.
but we have some new staff since now we have the moderate special ed program at Eastern. I don't know if it moved from Salem,
I think so.
but I couldn't, because I know a lot of our kids were serviced there.
Uh-huh.
But I've got to interact with those kids, and I had never gotten to see them before, and work with people that I hadn't, deaf, hard of hearing students, things like that, and that has been a wonderful new experience for me. So that's new staff that are rocking it, doing great.
Yeah. And,
enjoy working with them.
Eastern and Salem really complement each other. They work well together.
Yeah. That's good.
Good relationships.
It's about the kids.
That's exactly what it's all about.
Our
Absolutely.
county kids are very important, and they need the best of the best.
For sure.
We're
Brad,
lucky.
keep up the great work over at Walmart.
I'll
and
try.
all of those, the
I'll
pumpkin
try.
rolls to the, there's so many great things,
Yes.
to all the cakes, the
Yes.
pies. And,
Yeah, actually, I was at Walmart before I got here. Because
Well-
I had a couple minutes. I was like, I'm just going to walk around Walmart.
They have the sugar cream pie over there. We
Oh.
have just, our family, for whatever reason, we've just been.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And the Little Debbie Christmas tree ice cream is back.
Yeah. That's just dangerous. That tells us.
I still haven't had it yet, but I remember
Oh.
last year when I did this is when I found out about it.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
I will tell you real quick, sorry, Chex Mix. People love Chex Mix for the holidays, right? So over there's a feature of most of the ingredients you'll need to make Chex Mix. But here's the one up on that. There's these little packets that it's got all of the seasonings. It's in a powder form. You just melt the stick of butter, put that together, and it gives you the ratios on the back, but you do it in the microwave. So you don't have to use and I've tried this, and I've done this for like 2 or 3 years, but you stir it all together, you melt that, you add that, you microwave it. It takes 5.5 minutes. You microwave it for 2 minutes, you stir it, 2 minutes, you stir it, 1.5 minutes, you lay it out and dry it out, and it is amazing. It tastes like what you get when you make it in the oven. The work is done for you, and it's as close to homemade as you can get. But I absolutely, especially if you like to do a lot of that stuff, 6 minutes, you're done. And so with a batch that makes a gallon
Because
of
usually it
Chex
takes me
Mix,
over an hour to
Yeah.
make
Well,
Chex
so
Mix.
and if
you
you
do not-
you set it out, and then that'll keep people out of the kitchen. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yes.
you gotta
Yes.
distract the
Yep.
you gotta
Choose
you
your
know,
battles.
Yeah,
That
you
is
gotta
one to do.
distract. Let them nibble on that while you're
Yes.
getting the turkey ready. You have to you gotta keep crowd control out of the kitchen. So that's
So
really
in 45 minutes, you could have 3 batches, 4 batches made.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
and
goodness.
be doing. I mean, it's In the microwave.
So you
It's
just
quick,
do it like
it's
in a
easy.
bowl?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
I have the big plastic bowls, and what I actually do so it'll stir evenly is I have 2 of them the same size. I microwave it for 2 minutes and then pour it into the other bowl and stir it, and then while that's microwaving for 2 minutes, wipe out the first bowl I started with and just keep going back and forth, and you get everything coated evenly and you stir it and then you just let it dry. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Saves
And that
time.
stuff keeps too. Put
That's
it in
awesome.
Ziploc
Yes.
baggies
Yeah.
and
absolutely.
people.
I am definitely.
You'll make
thank you.
friends.
Yeah, no.
You'll make
But they
friends.
have
Yeah.
the
They have been at this for over 30 years now. I'm afraid this is as good as it gets. The Rick and Bubba Show.
And we start a brand new hour. Thanks for being here with us all across America and around the world on various platforms, both live and archived. However you're here, we're glad you're here. Speedy, Greg Burgess, Adler, they've been hanging out with us today, and welcome back for another hour. Bill Bubba Bussy, there he is.
Rick, glad to be here, and thank all of you for joining.
Are you ever open this time of year? And again, you and I respect.
Over the middle?
Yeah,
Take the top off the
I'm
defense?
I'm open, Burgess. Get me the ball. We mentioned this as we're talking about Michael Irvin, who I guess apparently has become a story-breaking journalist. He
If
says,
you only knew who the bag man was.
right, Dion going to the Cowboys, he's trying to act like that's a murmur. And then he also said he's starting to suggest, which some others have said, that the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight was all designed and rigged.
There were severe limitations on what they could do.
What they could and couldn't do.
They had to go. Nobody wanted that fight to be over in 1 round. So there was a lot of, hey, it's got to go 8 rounds, according to him.
He almost presented, because when we were playing the Rick and Bubba softball team, who of course retired 63-0, we had kind of a slogan: the kids didn't come to watch Rick and Bubba lose.
Right.
And so there were things that we did to give ourselves an advantage in the game. Are they claiming that if we want this thing, everybody not to hate us? Of course, everybody ended up hating you anyway, because it was sad. If we want people not to be upset, we can't just go out there and Tyson throw an uppercut and knock Jake Paul's head off and that be the end of it. Didn't he suggest that Tyson had to sign that he wouldn't throw uppercuts?
That's what he said.
Michael Irvin said this.
that he contract stated he couldn't throw an uppercut.
But where's he getting this from?
now some are because that's his signature knockout. He said go to the body, go uppercut. They didn't want him to do that. Now I watched it, and it just looked like a guy that's too old, and he was as long as it went on, he struggled to get around. And in fact, I felt like at one point the Jake Paul, is that his name?
Yes.
That he held back.
Yes.
Yeah, late in
He
the round.
did, I think.
Now,
He
Adler, you
bounced to
said
him in
Well,
the
even
last
before
round.
that,
Yeah.
but even before that,
you said first round and a half or so, Adler. Tyson clearly looked like he had his legs under him, and he was all about it. Then he kind of
Lost some
he
legs.
was kind of trash after that.
Yes,
Now-
he couldn't get inside. If anybody needed to be limited by a contract, it was Jake Paul.
But
not
those
Tyson.
that believe this think that there were opportunities in that first round, early second round, where you could see that Tyson held back as far as like there was one that someone is saying where he almost pulled like a half punch, like Jake was open and he had it and he stopped. I guess you can look at it either way depending on what conspiracy theory you believe. But did you see any of that early in the round?
I did not. I did not at all. Tyson,
Not at all.
Tyson to me looked like he was trying his best throughout the fight, and his best was not good. He looked slightly okay for about a round and a half.
Yeah.
This was his best kind of jab of the night right here, but he did not make very many clean connections. And Jake Paul was able to evade if Tyson went in for, and he really only had the energy for a single punch. It didn't look like he had
he
the
didn't throw
energy
any combination.
for combos.
Yeah.
I think this is where the problem is. We saw the training footage where he was doing vicious combinations, and we
Yes.
didn't see that in the match.
Right.
I
And
think that's what everybody was
understand
concerned about.
That wasn't a very long session. That was just a little clip.
right. And
But we would like to have seen that little clip in the ring.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
didn't see
We were
that.
telling you
Yeah.
that, here he is.
And the trainer is letting you hit him. He wants you to hit these pads.
Yeah, he's standing in front of you.
and the
so you
pads
hit him.
aren't fighting back. But it still looked like he definitely had the power to knock Jake Paul out if he could get to him. The problem was he never could really get to him.
yeah.
And the legs, look, could it be this is no more complicated than an average, really young guy beat a once great, really old guy.
Absolutely.
Because the body can only do, age does matter. You can take that biological age down, your health, but that still doesn't mean you've got the legs you once had and the stamina you once had when the body's been broken down over time. And let's face it, Mike Tyson got himself in great shape for a 58-year-old, no doubt. But think about the years of neglect that he had where he wasn't taking care of himself and all that. And sometimes when you're 50...
When he was living with pigeons.
There you go.
All that.
But when you're 58 too, sometimes your legs just aren't where they once were.
Speedy, you're the pigeon guy.
For boxing? I mean, you realize how